Three young men used discarded parts to assemble the world's first Harley motorcycle, but it had to be started by pedaling. Walter took it out for the first test ride.
Pedaling, keep going! See? It works!
In an era filled with bicycles, this motorcycle drew curious stares from everyone around. Walter rode the first Harley faster and faster, accelerating again and again until it finally ran out of fuel. Only then did he push the mud-covered bike back home. Beaming with joy, he realized this would be a groundbreaking product. But at that time, Indian motorcycles had already begun selling across America.
So we gotta be different.
Ours needs to be bigger, stronger, faster.
Walter invested all his savings to officially join the venture. To make the motorcycle faster and more powerful, Bill redesigned the engine. Just as everything was moving forward, Bill received his college acceptance letter. He was overjoyed. This had always been his family's dream. He shared the news with the others. Walter was furious. He had poured all his money into the business, and now their engineer wanted to leave. Arthur refused to give up. He took the first Harley to a race, but before the competition even began, the engine caught fire. The crowd burst into laughter. It seemed they really couldn't manage without an engineer. Determined to fix it, Walter paid a high price to hire a mechanic from an Indian motorcycle shop to repair the bike. To boost Harley's reputation, they kept entering races. Whenever the Harley appeared, it captured everyone's attention, but the organizers claimed the motorcycle was overweight and posed a safety risk, so they expelled them from the track. Walter didn't give up. When the race began, he started riding outside the track at the same time. At the final moment, he broke through the fence and charged onto the course, finishing in first place. The crowd erupted in cheers. The newcomer Harley motorcycle had defeated the established Indian brand. This caught the attention of a businessman. Arthur seized the moment to boast about their product. The businessman saw through his exaggerations at a glance, but he didn't mind. The victory had already proven everything. He decided to take Harley motorcycles nationwide. When Arthur returned home with a $1,000 deposit, his family finally recognized their youngest son's efforts. His father even agreed to join them. Soon they expanded the small shed into a factory, but more and more problems emerged. The engine's weight had to be reduced. There was only one person who could solve these issues: Bill. They went to find him, hoping he would return. But Bill had already been recruited by a major company. Once he graduated, he would become a consultant there with a high salary. Arthur told Bill they now had investors too.
1 million men built the pyramids, and none of their names are on it. Ours could be.
And the company name would begin with his name, Harley-Davidson. What they couldn't have imagined was that this company, born in a tiny wooden shed, would one day grow into a legendary brand beloved by motorcycle enthusiasts around the world. With Harley motorcycles entering mass production, they needed to further expand brand awareness. The only way was to compete in races. But this time, the competition was about the motorcycles, not the riders. If a rider got injured, he could be replaced. But if the motorcycle broke down, it was immediately eliminated. The race began. Some motorcycles stalled and caught fire halfway through. Some crashed into obstacles and were knocked out. Harley, however, took the lead all the way. At that moment, an Indian motorcycle deliberately rammed into Harley. Walter's foot slammed against a rock. At the end of the first lap, Walter collapsed onto the ground. But after a short rest, he forced himself back up, took a few swigs of liquor, and continued racing. In the second lap, Indian knocked Harley down again. This time, Walter was furious. He lifted the motorcycle, chased after them, and kicked the Indian bike hard. On the final lap, Walter outpaced more than 60 other riders and claimed first place, even setting multiple records. Walter became famous overnight, and Harley-Davidson became a trusted brand. Seizing the momentum, they introduced a compact V-twin engine. With a 45-degree angle, it perfectly matched the frame. With a displacement of 810 cubic centimeters, it delivered stronger power. Thanks to this innovation, Harley-Davidson sold 1,149 motorcycles that year. Just as they were celebrating, a businessman approached them. He was about to host a brand new motorcycle race on a wooden track banked at 60 degrees, with more than 7,000 spectators present. This would be another opportunity to elevate Harley's reputation, but it required speeds of 80 miles per hour, and brakes were not allowed. All participants would be subjected to intense centrifugal force. It was practically a death wish. Arthur didn't want to participate in such a bloody race, but for the sake of sales, they had no choice. Walter would race again, this time bringing along a rookie rider. The race began. All the motorcycles accelerated onto the steep track at once. Because of the extreme speed, some riders collided and withdrew. Some engines overheated and stalled, sending riders crashing to the ground. The two Harley riders remained far in the lead. On the second lap, they nearly overturned while trying to avoid injured riders lying on the track. By the third lap, someone rushed onto the track to carry away the wounded. The Harley motorcycle had no time to avoid them. An accident happened. Harley's sales plummeted. Worse still, World War II broke out. Fuel was reserved strictly for military use, and they were on the verge of bankruptcy. Then Arthur had a bold idea: why not convert their motorcycles for military use? After reviewing their design proposal, a military officer was very satisfied and immediately ordered 20,000 units. When World War II finally ended, one of the first vehicles to enter Germany was a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. This further strengthened the brand's image.